Hello, welcome again. So if you were at class this week, we're still working on that open heart. We actually brought it to the feet last week. So we worked on dancer pose, a standing, one-legged balance, and a back bend. Pretty intense, a lot of pieces to it. And so I thought that this week I could kind of show some things you can do at home to help open up the front of the body. So while we were in the class, we were really working on stretching out those quadriceps as well as bracing the core so that we're keeping the upper body more into that back bend. So 2 weeks ago, we worked on the shoulders and opening them up. So this week, I'd like to work on the quadriceps a little bit more. So one easy stretch you can do at home. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can lie on your belly. So we lie down on our bellies. You can go 1 foot at a time, turning the palm, pressing down into the top of the foot, stretching into that quadricep. Now this is nice to do it on your stomach because you can really press the pubic bone in and feel the abdominal muscles tighten and brace. You can also do this both legs at the same time. Now this can also be done lying on your back. Keeping the feet nice and close to the torso, you also want the knees to stay fairly close together. I suggest squeezing the glutes and then lying the sit bones down, buttocks down. So if you find it too hard to come all the way down without feeling like you're hyperextending your lower back, you can always bring in a pillow, a rolled up blanket to just kind of lift things up. And the idea is that we're just going to keep reaching those knees towards the floor and pushing the hips up. So that's going to help us stretch into those quadriceps. We did do lizard pose, and I showed using a strap. So with the lizard pose, we're kind of in that low lunge, and we'll take the strap around the foot, and now we can hold it up over our head, and I can adjust the length of my strap and then use my foot pressing into the strap to help activate the muscle. So stretching the muscle while you're contracting it can really make a difference in how much flexibility you can gain. You can also do this in pigeon pose. So lying down in pigeon pose, I'm flipping sides here because I'll go this way. Yeah. So in pigeon pose, again, we're squaring our hips, but then I'm going to bring in my foot. So first thing is, I want to make sure that knee is pointing straight back. I'm going to pull the foot, and then I can keep one hand down, and again, pressing in. I'm squeezing my glutes, my knee is pushing out, my foot is pressing into the strap, and my arm has got it strong, pulling it towards the front of my body. One other I'd like to leave you with. This is one that's pretty intense, but it also offers you a lot of control in how deep it goes. So sometimes we get into these poses and we're putting ourselves in a situation where we're putting our body weight and it can be a little too intense. So this one here, I'm going to bring my knee back to the wall, and I'm going to turn my toes up. The other foot is going to come out. So my goal here is stretching up the quadriceps. So I'm going to keep my hips squared, and I'm going to start reaching down and pushing my hips. Again, remember that we want to keep the shoulders back and the heart open. So maybe I'll put my hand or elbow on my knee. Maybe I can bring it down. The more you walk the foot out, the more deeply you can get into that stretch, feeling those quadricep muscles opening up. So the idea with our back bends is that we're using the core to support that lower back, and we're using all of those muscles in the front of the body to stretch and open so that those are the parts that can really open, giving our quadriceps, our iliopsoas, the opportunity to find flexibility so that we can fall into those back bends. So you might notice on the email, I've added a little diagram about where we want to put our pressure on our hands when we come into our downward dog or any of those poses where we're putting weight on our hands. That's going to be some of the focus of what I'm going to be working on in the next week. So we're going to start working on some of those parts of the body that we tend to spend a lot of time putting that weight on in our yoga practice, and how to do that safely, how to support, and how to strengthen the muscles that are going to help us find those poses and practice them more easily. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye-bye.